Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another rare slash collectible PS3 games video. I hope you guys have been having a great time this past week. And as for me, I've been enjoying great weather for the past 4 days, but today decided to pour rain again. And personally, I really don't like rainy weather. Makes me not want to go outside, etc., etc. But anyway, I actually haven't had a chance to play too many games this week, so I guess I'll skip that portion and just get right on to talking about some rare slash collectible games. Alright, so we'll go to my closet like usual and pull out these games. Alright. And right here. Okay. Alright, so the first game is 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand. I actually found this via the Let's Go app. It's an app on the iPhone, and it might be available on the Android too. But this is 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand, came complete, and I believe I bought it in like a bundle on that app, and I think it worked out to around $5 to $6 each game. So yeah, I paid around that much, and I believe this game is worth around $10 to $15. Personally, I've only seen it once in the wild at a GameStop, but for the most part, it is pretty hard to find. I'd say it's on the uncommon end, but of course on eBay, it's very easy to find. And it's published by THQ, which is a company that typically makes a lot of like the kids games, kind of like Megamind and stuff like that. Just a lot of the DreamWorks games. And it's a company that went under due to, I believe, their UDraw tablet, and so they're no longer an actual company. And yeah, so it's like these games are probably going to be the last of what THQ makes. And I think it also made a UFC Trainer and just a wide diversity of games. But for the most part, they do focus on kids' games. So yeah, this is 50 Cent, Blood in the Water. And from what I know, this is actually, like, it's not an amazing game, like a AAA title or anything. But it's kind of like a quirky game where some people can find it fun. You know, it has a lot of his music in there. And basically 50 Cent and G-Unit decide to go to the Middle East and do a concert, and they get involved in a bunch of stuff. And for the most part, for the gameplay, it's like a cover shooter, but from what I hear from this review, you don't really need to take cover. Like, it's not necessary unless you're on the highest difficulty. And what's cool about it is you could also choose a member of the G Unit to follow you and do your thing, I guess. And for the most part, it's like a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's kind of like mindless shooting fun. And so yeah, this game is worth, I would say, anywhere from like $10 to $15. You could probably find it for a bit cheaper. And yeah, it seems like an overall kind of maybe I'll try it out once kind of game. And I believe it's only like a 5-hour long game, so it's very short. Alright, so the next one, this is F1 2014. This one came complete, and I believe I paid $12. It was in a bundle with Borderlands Triple Pack, WRC 5, and I think the Jackbox Party Pack. Yeah. This was originally supposed to come new sealed. Like, there's still a bit of a seal on the side, but so like it took me weeks to meet up with this guy. Like, when, you know, we've been arranging, okay, like, can you ship it? And he's like, I don't really like to ship it. And then he's like, you know what? Like, if my work, like, I don't know what he does exactly, but I guess he gets contracts to go to like different places and do some work. And then he's like, if I go to a place that's pretty close to Berkeley, then I'll drop it off. And I finally got to meet him. And sadly, when I met him, he broke the news to me, and he's like, oh, like, I just want to try it out, so, like, I unsealed F1 2014. So I was like, damn it, like, why out of the 4 games would you choose the most hard to come by one, and that's, you know, worth the most to unseal? But anyway, no big deal. At least I get to play this game without feeling too guilty about unsealing it. And from what I know about F1 2014, I believe it is the last game that they have released so far. And as for the gameplay and stuff like that in general, I heard it's a bit of a mixed review. Like, some people like the updates that F1 2014 had to maybe some of its physics, like the torque, and all sorts of other, like the wheels and how the traction on them and all sorts of other things. And I also heard there's a bit of a disparity between using a wheel and using like a gamepad of some sort. And yeah, it's the last F1 game released so far, and I have yet to play it, but it seems like a decent game. But I would say Gran Turismo 6 still takes the cake for one of the best racing games on the system. So yeah, this game is actually fairly expensive. It surprised me when I found out about it. It's worth around 30 to 40 used and around $70 new. So I would say if you can find this for anything less than 30, like maybe in the 20s, I'd definitely pick it up. If you're an original fan of F1 2014 and you just want to collect the game, then I'd pick it up as well. But yeah, it came complete, and yeah. Alright, for the next one, this is Guided Fate Paradox. I've seen this a few times at GameStop, but I decided not pick it up there because it tends to be a little more on the pricey end. And yeah, it came complete. And I bought this on eBay, I think for around $8. And yeah, it's like a dungeon crawler. Seems pretty cool. Like these angels, she's one of them, I guess, decides to come to Earth and tell him that he's some sort of like this god. And then so it's a dungeon crawling game where he goes through and I guess defeats the quote unquote bad guys. And from what I hear and from what I can see, seems like a very quirky game that has pretty good gameplay, kind of reminiscent of like Disgaea D2. And what else is there? And yeah, it's like the story's good, gameplay's fairly good, so it seems like it's a pretty good game. And it's published by NIS, and NIS does tend to import a lot of the Japanese games for the US. And they have a lot of either very cool games or very kind of weird niche games, and this would, I would say, be on the niche slash, like, you know, the general person, the general gamer could find it fun. So yeah, this is Guided Fate Paradox, and this game is fairly cheap. I'm not too sure about the GameStop prices, but at least on eBay it's worth anywhere from like $10 to around $15. So if it seems like an interesting game to you, I'd definitely pick it up. And these are the other angels that I guess decide to tell them some stuff. Alright, next game, this is Plants vs. Zombies. And it's published by PopCap. And PopCap did, I believe, like the Bejeweled games and like a lot of the mobile games, like the originally mobile games. And I remember playing this a few years back on my phone, and then I was just surprised to see this in like a game format. And I first found this at CEX. I believe it was like $15 or so. And then I remember thinking like, I don't know if I want to shell out $15 for this game, so I decided to return it. And ever since then, I've never seen it in the wild. But I would say it's more on the uncommon end. You could probably find it, at least in one of the GameStops that might be near you. But it's getting harder to find, that's for sure. The Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, it's a different version of the game. That one is a lot easier to come by, but I would say this one, it's a bit harder to come by. And overall, like it's a tower defense game where you set up your plants, and then the zombies are crawling, trying to make it to your house right there. And yeah, it's a very addicting. It's like very simple, but it's very addicting. I don't know what it is about it, but I remember playing it on my phone, and for at least a few weeks, I played it a lot. And yeah, it seems like a cool game. I believe there's a multiplayer mode as well. With the zombies being on one side and the plants being on one side and you choosing one of them. And yeah, it seems like a fairly cool game. I remember I was watching this on eBay for a while, and I found one, I believe, for like $8 or $9, and so I decided to buy it. And so yeah, if you can find this anywhere from like 10, it's worth around $10 to $20. So if you can find it for, I would say on the lower end, I'd definitely pick it up. Alright. And the next one, this is a fairly short video today. I gotta go to my BJJ class soon, so I'm trying to make this before, it's time. And I've already talked about this game, as you guys know, the Simpsons game. And this is an old PS3 game, as you can see, with the PlayStation 3 embossed on top. And the reason why I decided to share this is I actually picked up a double of this back home, and then I noticed later on that it's a slightly different version. And so the Simpsons game, if you see right here, it says the exclusive big super happy fun game poster inside. And I believe there's this one, like the Medal of Homer, and a few other ones, but this is one of them, and I was surprised that it was one of these things. And if you open it up, it says 1282 here, but that's when I first bought the game. But when I went back home, I got it, I think, for like $3 or something, and so I was very happy about that. And I just want to share this poster, and this is the big super happy fun game poster, and I thought that was just pretty cool. And on the back, it says, it just talks about unlocking trophies for the Wii, for the PlayStation 2, and for the PlayStation 3. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next video.